Let's go. Let's go.
Queensland Touring Car
Did you
Championship.
have it louder? What happened then?
Oh no, I might have amped myself up.
Did you amp
Sorry.
yourself up? My God, Jones. You know, that's all that Pepsi Max you're drinking at lunchtime. That's what it was.
I'm not wide. I'm not.
I'm not jittery at all. New format for Jones. You think this is the first time you've ever had to do it to television, is it? Or have you done?
I've done TV before.
No, but as far as this sort of stuff's concerned, because
I've done this sort of stuff.
I keep forgetting.
I used to do.
What's his name? Phillip Island's all done to vision monitor.
But, and also Mark Walker's TV production stuff as well.
That's right. Yeah. So it's very, it's a different ideal, and it's something you either fall into very easily or you struggle with. Good thing about it is where, folks, just to let you know, we are not looking at the track in any way, shape, or form. In fact, we could be sitting in an igloo watching this, and have no idea what's going on apart from a spotter that we have at the front of our window. We're looking out the window.
If you ever wonder why, when you're watching the telecasts of
V8
supercars, and sometimes that they can be looking at stuff on camera and completely miss it. It's because they're not necessarily looking at. They're not looking out at the racetrack. They're looking in the. They're looking into a bank of TV monitors. They've essentially got their backs to the racetrack when they call the races.
When they've worked beside us here, James, they're in the same room we are now. But what they had was a completely blacked out thing.
Now.
But they couldn't see out the windows, and they used to give us a thing all the time.
Well, we probably should run through the grid now.
No, they've got a rolling start. We can get that. We're going to start. So Carlbeg.
It's a big grid, so it'll take time.
Carlbeg and Chris Brown on the front. Now, if we are not seeing two different style of cars on the front, I don't know. The giant killing Carlbeg in that car. That thing
in the little BMW 3 Series.
It is the little engine that could.
It's
after the 300.
And there we go.
Which it should have run.
They're away on the warm-up lap. So Carlbeg and Chris Brown. Chris Brown, the reigning champion in the car. Carlbeg, the series points leader.
Yeah, behind them, of course, is Gilbertson and Kennedy. Now
Anthony Gilbertson, he's stepping into a different car this weekend. He did a lot of miles in his V8 BMW last year, but then when they took it to the Bathurst 12-hour, he only did 3 laps in the race. So now he's sort of parked the car for the year, and he's leased one of Damien Flack's Nexus Racing race cars. He's got the
it's one of the
silver and purple.
Cars. Yep.
Yeah, silver. It's an old M3R, one of the old M3Rs that Frank Gardner built down at.
It's got a fair bit of history about it. It's actually it's a pretty rapid bit of kit actually, and not much off time-wise. Then we go back to
Kennedy.
Yep.
Yeah, and that black Commodore, that thunderously powerful Commodore. It's a bit slow in the corners, but
it's the most it's a straight line. It goes like it's a fair bit quicker than a Hyundai.
Then we've got the 2 Peter Brock tribute cars on the 3rd row of the grid.
Yeah.
Steve Hay in the VK mobile car,
yep.
And then Jim Spence in the VH tobacco product car.
Well, you can say it. Then we go back to
Hamish Goetz' Monaro.
Yeah, and of course Kent
in the Tirana.
And then we go back to then
Gresham in the BMW 2002 and Trigger in the BMW 3 Series. Dan Cooter making his return in the Owen Grice Tribute Commodore.
Mr. Woodcroft in the other car.
Black Tribute Tirana.
Getting ready to go green this time round. Green about to come on, checkered flag, green flag, away we go, Jonesy, and of course, it's a drag race in the front straight. The bitter's going to give away a little bit of the straight line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brownie's got to turn 1 first.
6.
And yes, he has. Brown is away in the race lead from Begg, and we see Gilbertson's being very forceful to hold Kennedy back for the battle for 3rd position, followed by Spence and Hay.
That's where the BMW is going to have it all over. These guys, as far as handling is concerned, it is a
3 wide
weapon. Yeah, look at this thing. He's going to go on the outside.
Murray Kent, Steve Hay, and
Brown's had to give him room, and is absolutely gutted by the fact he's had to give him room. And Carlbeg's gone round the outside. He's a Buffalo girl's gone round the outside and got himself into a commanding position as he make the way down into turn number 6 on the brakes. Well, look at it.
Yeah, and they go side by side.
He's going to get it done. That's a double fade on the brakes. He got deep twice then on him. Well done. And Carlbeg pulls up on the inside. This is the first of 12 laps for the guys.
But watch the horsepower go here. He's got over 700 horsepower on tap here as Chris Brown in that VT Commodore.
Yeah, Kennedy's not shy either, and they go, oh, look at that. Gilbertson.
Yeah. Anthony Gilbertson's doing a fabulous job in the E36 Series M3R as they fly through turn 2. Brown, Begg, Gilbertson, Kennedy, and then on to the big stops for the Dipper.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because when they get on the front straight again, Kennedy is going to be the fly in the ointment for these guys because he has got some straight line sniff. But it's all about Brown at the moment, the Western Suburbs Mechanicals Commodore, as he has got the very potent Mr. Carl Beeg beyond in the Bimmer. There goes Gilbert. Now, tell you what, I keep coming back to this.
Gilbertson, big dive on Begg. He was a long way back. He's not going to make it.
No, that would have, if he'd have got that done, he'd have driven through the door to make it.
Yeah, it was optimistic, but
watch Kennedy out of the corner of that.
Yeah, that black Commodore is actually is under a bit of pressure here from Jim Spence, second to the Western Suburbs Mechanical Commodores.
Spence's car doesn't lack any sniff either. It doesn't have the room to open its legs either at the moment. So
you notice Murray Kent's LH Tirana, the bonnet was flapping around a little bit.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, it's nothing to be concerned about.
It's opening up just a little bit more cold air and around the top of the air cleaner, I'd say, Jonesy, more likely. And look at this. Look at Gilbertson under. He is
Beggs up the inside.
Got a bit wide. Got a bit
race leader.
Yeah.
Here comes Gilbertson for second. No.
Look at Brown. Brown is so courteous of this. He could close the door as much as he likes through there. Doesn't do it. Gilbertson probably a little bit circumspect of whether he's going to run the outside. Begg out on the dirt, past the ripple strip, out in front. And you know what's going to happen here now? He's just going to dance away because he'll get his lap into his own rhythm.
And here's Gilbertson again. He's got
the job done.
And Kennedy. He's looking after it as well. As Hamish Goetz is having a go in the Monaro as well. He couldn't get it done further back.
Right, who's got the most stiff and straight lines? Kennedy.
Begg's away. That's BMW.
Yeah, told you. Once he gets the rhythm going, he was being slowed up through the corners, and there's no way in the world that these guys can compete against handling that car. It has got good straight line speed, not great compared to the Commodores, but its handling's unbelievable.
Hamish Goetz in the Monaro didn't have the best of race starts. He's just picked up a spot there from Richard Gresham in the BMW 2002. The honorary way 20. Oh, Brown's gone. Okay, that's a big.
Oh, look at him. That's an engine let go. That is just huge.
Oh, that's a shame.
He's running a long way down this track. He's not worried about pulling it up. That's gone bang. That's a terrible pity.
Well,
and that is no reflection on anything he does in a race car because he's got plenty of customer cars out there still running as hard. That is a mechanical failure. Oh my God. That's I can just all the officials are going, yay. There's half an hour's work after trying to clean it up. But lucky he was off race line and was smart enough to get off the area.
Oh, yes, Glenn Trigger is having a go further back there. The black BMW stuck the nose up the inside of just trying to pick up. I think that's Gresham.
It is.
Yeah.
Got past him though.
No, he didn't. No,
nothing they could do about the power of the other car on the outside. Looking further back in the field though, Jones. Nice strong run from Woodcroft too. He's having a better run further back.
Yeah, we're just seeing Chris Begg come into the second of the Motorsport Zone BMWs, the later model car, and is fighting for position as we go back to Chris's son Carl, who's our race leader. As someone had made a big lock-up under brakes. I think that was Kennedy in the big black Commodore, but Begg leads, and then we've got Gilbertson in the E36. Silver and purple.
He'll drive away, mate. There's nothing they can do about him. I don't know. The only person probably going to be hold a light to him as far as endurance is going to be the car of Gilbertson, and he's keeping him with check at the moment. But then again, Carl Beeg's probably backed off a little bit. Doesn't need to drive the wheels of it. He's just got to do enough. And I think while he's doing that, he's going to have a lot better run. Good battles further back down in the field if we can. Get ourselves further back down to grab those.
There's Dan Kudo coming through the field. He's just in between the Hallgood HSV.
This is some great work coming up here, Jonesy. Look at these guys. They're all starting to close up on each other. No one's got away, and it's guys like
we've got a car limping there. That's Rice, Dean Rice in the improved production Commodore. As we go back to the race leaders.
Well, that was interesting just then. Did you see Gilbertson's car sideways coming in through as it came into the dip? He's trying pretty hard. Bit of smoke coming off the back of it.
It's been at least a year since that car has raced, maybe even as long as 2 years. One of the cars that owned by Damien Flack's Nexus Racing operation.
Yep.
Most of Damien's cars are Porsches. But they do have that BMW there as well, which is the oldest of the cars in his race car fleet.
This has been really interesting, in fact, to see the make-up, bit of a battle going on further back there, Jonesy, but side-by-side action coming out of turn number 6. It is on for young and old. Look at this.
Oh, who's that slowing on the front straight?
Oh.
That's Kennedy, I think.
Yeah, Kennedy.
The booming VT Commodore there of Brett Kennedy. He's got his hand out the window and was pulling up on the run down Dick Johnson Straight. Look further back, we see there's Mick Apps, who's embroiled in battle there with Chris Begg's BMW.
Not just showing how many laps are left, James. We've got a timing swing problem at the moment.
Yeah,
There's 12 laps to run. We'll have to keep our spotter having a look for that last lap flag, but I'd say we've got about 5 laps completed of the race distance run.
Well, right at the moment, it's Carl Begg.
It's the Carl Begg show, isn't it, really?
He's got, you can see the gap there between himself and Gilbertson, and the gap back to third place is even more impressive. Of course, that's the 2 quickest Commodores have both fallen over.
It's funny. It's funny when you look at Carl Begg's car, paying no disrespect to anybody, but the car looks like it's nothing special. It just looks like a really fast road car, and but it is by far the best package out there. It is unbelievably quick. In fact, it's got to look at that. That is a marvellous shot. That is
Murray Kent in third position now.
That car's running really, really well. So is the Monaro behind it.
Hamish Goetz, and followed by Gresham and Glenn Trigger in their BMWs. Bit of a gap before we get to the next car, which is Jim Spence in the second of the Western Suburbs
There's
mechanical
Mr. Woodcock having a big dive down the inside.
Followed by Cooter, Hallgood, then Apps, Begg, Chris Begg, and then Stephen Coe, Dean Rice. And that's Peter Batteram, and the rest of the field coming into sight. Here comes Ian Solomon. No, that's Warwick Douglas ahead of Andrew Knight in the Datsun that was so quick at Lakeside.
Yeah, Andrew Knight's Datsun, I've got to find out, that car's got some history, hasn't it? It's not a fresh build, it was someone else's car.
I wouldn't like to say, that would be guesswork.
And let's not guess, let's be more accurate than that. And of course one of the Tiranas running around that field as well, one of the Group N spec Tiranas.
Yeah, Nick Linton has, Nick Linton appears to have purchased Peter Bagley's car.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I was talking to Peter Bagg the other day. Nothing was said about that, so maybe I need to do a player probe.
Well, okay, then perhaps then it might be Craig Allen's car, and that might explain why Craig Allen didn't take up the front row of the grid in the Group N race before lunch. It's an orange Tory, I know that much. But and Nick Linton was in the market for a new car, so certainly couldn't go wrong with either Pete Bagley or Craig Allen's cars. They're the 2 quickest XC1s in the state. And he's just come into vision there, about to be lapped by Carl Begg's BMW. Now, Carl was one of the stars of the Queensland 300 meeting just a month or so ago here. 300 kilometres around here.
Should have won it. Forget about it. Should have won the thing. To be really honest. Now our lovely spotter's at the front window, and I'm going to get him to let us know when the last lap board's out. So that's his primary function at the moment because we've got no lap counter. In fact, I'm just thinking about what we can do about that. We do have a camera pointed at that, which is one of our cameras for here. We could actually utilise that at some stage. So, look at this.
The Packer car's coming around turn 6, running down the front straight here. We've flicked back to the race leader, Begg, who's now lapping cars. He's just picked off Linton.
And the 17 cars ahead of him. If you run into that car, you could not say you couldn't see it.
No. In fact, if you came back to the pits with a paint smear on your car,
you'd never get away with it.
Well, someone would think, what, have you killed Kermit?
At least you didn't kill Kenny.
Oh dear, oh dear. He's been killed enough.
Oh no, this is a fantastic run by these guys.
So that's Begg disappearing out of shot now. And Carl Begg, our race leader, about to come into shot. Here he comes. There he is. And then there's Gilbertson. There's Linton there in the orange Tirana. He's a lap down. Now we're back with race leader Carl Begg, looking across from the camera at turn 5. Looking across
up now, Jonesy.
Looking across at the dipper. Begg's been doing a tremendous job. Gilbertson still pushing hard. Locked a brake in the background there, heading into the dipper. Through Snake Gully now, turns 4 and 5, before heading out onto the hangar straight.
See what our new guys on the cameras here are getting this all sorted out at the moment, Jonesy. This is good work, and as again we've reached a different stage of what we do here at Queensland Raceway. We're catering to the public here as well, but more also the public who want to watch from home.
Now Carl Begg is moving up on cars. He's about to come into range to lap Ian Solomon.
Last lap brought out, Jonesy. Oh,
yep.
There's Kennedy's car.
Yeah, that's Kennedy's car. It's been there for 3 or 4 laps now. So obviously, in fact, Kennedy doesn't appear to be in the car, and it's been locked and left.
It's been vacated.
So sadly, he was running in the top 4 for the whole race up until the car died. But there's Begg. Now there's an intense 3-car dice. Not that far. There they are, just screaming past in front of us. I can see Steve Hay and Andrew Knight.
Look at that for different shots. Thanks for giving that to us, guys, too. You can see the elevation change and how far they actually dip into that part of the racetrack. That's a really nice shot, that. Thank you very much. We can't explain to people at home how much that dipper is dip. It really is such a thing. There's Andrew Knight down the outside.
Warwick Douglas diving up the inside of Knight, and just in behind, a new competitor to the class, that's Leon Kemp in that maroon BMW.
Race leader now coming through turn number 6, Jonesy. This will be checkered flag time.
Yep, there it is. Checkered flag is out and waved at Carl Begg. In fact, Begg slowed. What did he slow?
Oh no, he did.
Oh no, he's just backing it off.
Back right off. Plenty of time between him and Gilbertson. Don't stress, Jones.
Oh, we got a car off up at turn 6. That's Nick Linton in his new Tirana, and he drove across the track in front of 3 quicker cars coming through. That's the battle for 3rd, actually. Yep. Here they come. Murray Kent's going to come home in 3rd position. 4th is Hamish Goetz in the Monaro, then the silver BMW of Richard Gresham. Now 6th place is going to go to Woodcroft in the LH Tirana, then Dan Cooter, then Hallgood. Ahead of Nick Apps, there's Chris Begg, Stephen Coe, that's Peter Batteram just coming past in the white Commodore. There's a bit of a gap before we get to the next car, and I think we might be coming up on that intense battle that we were watching before. Steve Hay was in that fight, but he's pulled away. Steve Hay's had some dramas in this race. He's lost a bucket of positions, but here's that battle, and Warwick Douglas has won it ahead of Andrew Knight and Leon Kemp in that maroon BMW, having its race debut here this weekend. Ian Solomon is the last car home on the lead lap, the yellow BMW, and that is the first race of round 3 of the 2014 Queensland Touring Car Championship.
Well, we're going to take a break. The 2 days of thunder here at Queensland Racetrack being brought to you by Shannons. Their passion is yours as well for your car or your race car. Give the guys a call. Shannons, when only the best will do. We'll be back on the other side of this break.